Thanks for coming back to learn more about P.I.E.
Three more significant goals for P.I.E. are to reduce the Social Security and Medicare Part A deficits that we are running now. They are very significant today, and they are both going to increase exponentially over the next 10 years. And the current estimate is that Social Security Trust Fund will go bankrupt in the early 2030s. P.I.E. avoids that by dramatically reducing the deficits for Social Security and for Medicare Part A. In so doing, those programs will be viable as they are for at least a decade and maybe longer, since P.I.E. replaces the individual's portion of the payroll tax, not the company portion, just the individual's portion, with a federal sales tax at the retail level. That sales tax will be much more stable in bad times than a payroll tax is. It's been proven time and time again that there is a greater level of consistency and stability on the revenue that comes in from a consumption tax than one that is on income. So that is another benefit that comes from P.I.E. as it replaces the individual payroll tax. And lastly, the goal was to make sure that we minimized or eliminated any of the negative consequences that might otherwise come. The first thing that typically pops into people's minds when they hear sales tax is that it's bad for the poor. In this case, it is not bad for the poor because we are replacing the payroll tax that is really bad for the poor with something that is not nearly as bad and actually makes it more beneficial to the poor and more costly to the higher income households. So that is another benefit of P.I.E. is to not hurt, but to help. However, a sales tax hits two groups. The people that are retired are not paying any payroll taxes today. And consequently, when you put a sales tax in place, retirees would start paying that sales tax. And we don't want them to be harmed unintentionally by P.I.E. So we take actions, which will be explained more in detail later, that eliminate the potential negative consequences of P.I.E. on retirees. The same thing is true for people on welfare. People that are on welfare would be hurt by a sales tax for that portion of their income that they receive in a spendable way. The food stamp program can only be spent on food, can't be spent on a car or other things of that nature. And also housing is for housing. But the rest of the welfare program, which is about $250 billion a year, could be spent on things that would have a sales tax on it. Consequently, we increase those particular welfare programs by enough to offset the impact of the sales tax. Thus, we've eliminated anything that has been identified as a significant potential negative consequence from P.I.E.
The next P.I.E. video will discuss how P.I.E. achieves the needed revenues to provide the tax reductions without increasing the deficits.